Hi there, and welcome to the Joy of Gaming, friends. Today, I'm very excited to show you. We're going to be going back in time, not quite to World War II, like some of you probably are thinking. Today, instead, we're going to be going back in time to the first ever Call of Duty Zombies mode. This one is something I've really been looking forward to sharing with you all. This is a game that I remember playing when it came out. I remember when this game came out, and my buddy and I, we beat the campaign, and then all of a sudden, we see this weird little cutscene, and we're about to see it right here. Let's go ahead. Now that is just unreal. It was so fascinating back in the day to have played through this game. We were just expecting this really cool military shooter that admittedly had some very dark stuff in it. And, the end credits roll, and we're like, all right, cool, we're gonna go play the multiplayer. All of a sudden, where the heck are we at? What is it? What's all this? Why is there gun drawings on the wall? There's a round thing down there. We got 500 points. What are these points? What's all this about? Really interesting stuff back in the day. Back when I think there was a lot more creative ingenuity happening back then within the gaming industry. Look at that. Imagine you're playing Call of Duty for the first time, expecting this military shooter, and all of a sudden, what the heck? We got zombies? I didn't sign up for no horror game. That's way too spooky. But then those of us back then who played our horror games, we were able to guide people along and let them know, hey, this is what you're supposed to do. This is how you're supposed to survive this. At least as long as you can. That's the thing about horror. Sometimes you just don't quite make it. That can be real scary for some people. And of course, as we all know, Call of Duty Zombies would evolve into really such a different game mode than what it used to be. But that does tend to happen once you've had so many games over so many years. It was bound to happen eventually. But that don't mean we don't have the classics that we can still go back on and just have a good time with. Even if you don't care for the new stuff, or even if the stuff just ain't that good, we always got these classics to go back on. Gonna shoot him up a little bit more there. It was really so interesting back in the day. I remember when my buddies and I had been playing probably for a good few weeks now. Or, well, back then I should say. And all of a sudden a buddy of mine was like, hey, I read online you should actually, in the early rounds, try and go for as many knives as possible. That way you get more points, and that way you can get your guns faster. And back then it was like, oh my gosh, that's such a good idea. Like, that's just so creative. You really did a good job piecing together the mechanics there. It was an awesome time. Starting to run low here, though. I need to get at least one knife here, so let's go ahead. Let's get that feller. I could go for the box, or could always try and save up for old reliable over there. I think I'm gonna try and do that. I only need to get a couple more kills, so let's go ahead. There we go, look at that. Easy peasy. And look at that. The world has smiled upon us. Oh, Mother Earth. Mother Earth Chan decided to bless us with that good old max ammo. I'll tell you what, I remember when I was younger when we were first figuring out Call of Duty Zombies, back before we had so many years and so many hours worth of video content telling you everything you need to know about Call of Duty Zombies. Back then, we were really figuring things out. And I remember thinking to myself when I was younger, I was like, man, I don't want a max ammo. I want to get a nuke. I want to get, insta kill. I don't need to get a max ammo. But as we all know now, max ammo, that's just about the most valuable power up you can get. Still using my pistol. Since we're only at round 3, I figure I can probably get myself a good amount of points. Look at that. Don't mind me. Not trying to show off or nothing. Just doing my thing. Just having a good old time. Oh, uh-oh. Looky there. Oh, thought you were gonna sneak up on me? I don't think so, friend. You can't do that so easily with me. Look at that. Oh, reliable is just right. See, looky there. If I was a kid, I would be jumping out of my seat and hollering up a storm. Just having a good old time. I think it's time we go ahead. Let's go ahead and trade in our trusty little pistol here. Ooh, the PTRS 41. Quite the powerhouse, but also I don't know just how useful it's going to be. So let's go ahead. Oh, well, there we go. We got all that we need to get ourselves to around 1,000. Or 2,000. Or however high you could possibly go. Of course, back then, if you had told me... if you had told me when I was in... Oh, when did this come out? This was 2008, I think. So, I would have been about 12 years old at that point. If you had told me at 12 years old that we could go to around 1,000, 2,000 in this mode, no Juggernog, no nothing, I would have thought you were a Looney Tunes character. I would have thought you were just absolutely crazy. And as it turns out, there are so many things that are possible, we have no idea. And it's all thanks to this flamethrower. Of course, you got to be really, really good at the game to be able to pull something like that off. I'm not quite at that level, but, you know, I certainly do my best. I've gotten to some pretty good rounds before. Look at that. I'm at round 4 and I'm just knifing. That's how good I am. And look at that. Already up to round 5. How long have we been playing now? We've only been playing for about 7 minutes. Can you imagine how far we're going to go by the time this half hour's up? That is assuming I can make it that far without getting my butt handed to me by some of these here undead German fellers. Of course, that's not quite right of me to say. I can't say they represent the German people. They just represent the worst of them. The zombies. Don't want to be getting involved with those zombies now. Those zombies, they got some... Let's just say they got some antiquated ideas of how we should be interacting with our fellow man. Don't want to be getting involved with them. No, sir. Gotta watch our back now, though. It's so funny, most people nowadays, you think about Call of Duty Zombies and you think, oh, round 5. Round 5's not that much of a challenge to get to. And that's, you know, that's pretty much right no matter what, but I'm already starting to feel some tension here. I don't have too much ammo left in my gun. I got a couple magazines, couple clips, whatever you prefer to call it. I know some people might get a little up in arms based on what you have to say, but it's okay. Let them do what they want. And look at that. Look at that. Alrighty, we're at round 6. Tell you what, let's go ahead. Let's see what we can get out of this box. Oh, now looky there. Now that is what we like to see. I tell you what, these fellers, they're in for a rough time. I was thinking about going upstairs, but I don't think I want to quite yet. In reality, going upstairs is actually not the best idea if you want to go super far, but I want to be able to show you guys everything, so I figure we'll be going upstairs eventually. I mean, hey, if we're going back and playing the classics, we gotta appreciate all it's got for us. We gotta do our best to see as much of it as we can. Oh, hello there. Starting to get a little quiet there. Starting to get a little stressed. Those zombies, I tell you what, they start coming for me. I get a little bit scared. Definitely don't wanna go messing with them. Let's go ahead and rebuild as much of this barrier as possible. It's real funny nowadays in modern zombies maps. You don't really think about trying to barricade anymore, but back in this day, I'll tell you what, when we started not being able to keep up with the barriers, we started getting pretty scared. It was pretty frightening. Tell you what, he tried to sneak up on me. Only thing about those MGs, the Browning takes forever to reload. Gotta be real careful about how you use it. Oh, uh-oh. Don't you be sneaking up on me now. Oh boy. Woo! Round 7, everybody. Round 7. You gotta be careful. Oh, we did it. Look at that. We got about 12,850 points. I'll tell you what. I know the flamethrower is technically the best weapon, but I think I'm going to be switching it out. Just for the time being. I'm not really looking to do high round strats or nothing. I'm just looking to do a little bit of scrambling, have a little bit of fun. Pretty casual gameplay for the most part. And look at that. Got the max ammo. This bodes well. This bodes well. Oh. Gotta be careful with those fellers, though. Oh, there we go. That's what we love to see. These zombies don't stand a chance. And another max ammo. We are just getting all the power-ups, aren't we? We are just getting them all. Looks like we're just about done with that round. Look at that. Already, we're done with round 8. It's just so funny how time flies. And we're about 14 minutes in, so I'll tell you what, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and get that feller out of here. Let's go ahead and rebuild this barrier real quick. And before we get too carried away, let's go ahead, let's run to this here corner. Let's hide from those zombies for a bit while we do our little stretches. Let's go ahead, just stand up, get a nice stretch. And like we always say, you don't gotta get too crazy with it. Just make sure to push out those legs and arms, get that blood flowing. And also, let's go ahead and take this chance to hydrate. Go ahead and have a nice good sip of water. And like that, we are ready to resume the carnage. Always loved that. It's always those nice little touches in zombies. You can tell they just had a whole lot of fun making it. I think that's one of the most important things for any video game. Not just to be fun to play, but also to be fun to make. Always want to make sure that everybody's having a good time. Really starting to get overwhelmed here. Look at that. Oh, almost got caught on some level geometry there. Now, that would have been real scary. Oh, you definitely don't want to be running around here too much. No, no, no. You gotta make sure to use all your territory, all your grounds that you can. Matter of fact, let's just go ahead. Let's just go ahead and trigger that nuke. I don't want to be dealing with those zombies no more. Oh no. And why not just go ahead and take another little spin at this box. Let's see what we can get. I'm not quite feeling the Panzer Shrek, but I do appreciate the offer. Always love our big bada booms. Oh boy. They almost got me there. Oh. I'm just a little bit too slick for him. I'm like, oh, that one Family Guy character, greased up deaf guy, like him. They're never gonna catch me. Oh, 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 that was close. That was close. I almost got caught there, but I managed to get myself out. Let's go ahead. Why not just take another spin at this here box and see what we can get? Ooh, STG. Circa 44. Quality piece of engineering this here gun. Then again, maybe not so much. Those Germans back then, I'll tell you what, they didn't quite always stick the landing, especially now with their technology. Oh boy, don't even get me started on that. I tell you what, let's just go ahead. Let's get this bad boy back in our hands. I tell you what, Thompson does not disappoint. It just don't disappoint. And look at that, we already got another insta-kill. Boom, bam, Beyonce. No, I've already learned my lesson with you. Sorry about that, feller. You're not too bad with Pack-a-Punch, but without Pack-a-Punch, I'm afraid you were just not quite making the cut. Oh, look at that. We may not have insta-kill anymore, but we do got double points. That's certainly something. That is certainly something. Oh boy. Almost had me there. But I got out of it. Oh, oh, look at that. They got me real quick. They got me real quick. That's how tough it was back then. Round 12. Round 12 wasn't too bad. Even though it's very possible to go as high as round 2000 and whatever. That don't mean you didn't do something good by getting as far as you did. And now they want us to play with them again. I tell you what, I don't know if I'm going to be playing on Noct again, but we got about 10, we got at least 10 more minutes here. We're only 20 minutes in, so I tell you what, maybe we're just going to go over a little bit, and maybe we're just going to go ahead and play ourselves some Zombies Verrückt, or Zombie Verrückt, singular, I should say. Electroshock therapy, chemically engineered beverages, hordes of undead Nazis find the power to unite and send them back to their graves. I tell you what, that's a heck of an advertisement. Let's go ahead, let's just jump right in. You gotta remember back in the day when you first downloaded this DLC, Speak Cola Juggernog, what the heck is all that? Got no idea. See, we didn't even have. I'll get onto the voice acting in a moment here, but see, back then we didn't even have when you go prone, get some points.
Let's see about getting the power back on.
We didn't even have that back then. Oh, it's so funny just thinking about all the different ways things were done back then. One thing you're gonna notice about Zombie Verrückt is that the voice acting, it is well, I'll tell you what, those fine gentlemen who went to the studio that day, they certainly did their best. They certainly did their best. Power will reunite you. It was real crazy, because back then, I remember seeing YouTube videos. Back then. Amidst all the voice acting, of course. I remember seeing all the YouTube videos back then. People wondering, what's all this writing on the walls mean? What are these, where do these chemically engineered beverages come from? What's all this? What's this facility? What's the story behind it all? And boy, oh boy, I tell you, the Call of Duty Zombie storyline, we had no idea just how much they would be building upon it. Because boy, oh boy, they certainly did. They certainly, they did a lot with it, that's for sure. They did a lot. Now see, that is just terrifying. If there's one thing Verrückt manages, it is to be the scariest zombies map, that is for sure. Or at least one of them. I will say, the Final Reich, the Darkest Shore, those maps are definitely up there too. Definitely can't discount them. I'll tell you what, fella. Yeah, that's right. Do what that guy said. Let's go ahead, since we can go ahead and afford it, let's go ahead and get the Thompson. Oh. That is just terrifying. Don't quite got enough to go upstairs yet, but that's okay. And one thing you can already notice about this, you can just tell, this is bigger than Nocturne and Toten. And that was something that back then, when there was no precedent for this was a big zombies map. This was a map where people were like, oh yeah, like in a multiplayer it'd be a pretty small map, but in zombies with how it's playing, this was a lot of space to work with. It didn't feel like it. But back then, we just worked with what we had. Let's go ahead. Something else you'll notice, not only the voice acting there, with the ghost girl or the ghost guy, back then we had no idea. Saying kaboom and insta-kill, double points and all that. And something you may have not even really picked up on was with Nocturne and Toten, they had a timer. But now,
You're dead!
now they've just got the symbol.
Now stay dead!
Which, you know, in a way, it definitely helps with the presentation, but also, you no longer know until it starts blinking that you're about to run out of time, so you gotta make the most of it while you can. I think that's part of what made zombies so good back in the day, was that it was so new and so unique that we just, there was always something new to learn. Like, what is all of this? Look at that. What is all of this supposed to mean? And mechanically, there was so much to learn, so much to piece together just by playing. It was a really good time. Such an interesting time.
Am I not bleeding on me?
And the funniest part, I haven't even mentioned. You can start out on this side or on the other side of the store. And when you play co-op, that's just about guaranteed to happen. Sometimes it will, sometimes it won't, depending on the amount of players you have. Always so much going on. Sometimes it's really good just to go back to the basics. See what it is that made these experiences so good. Because there really was so much for us to learn from. So much for us to experience. It was a really good time for double points. Finally going to be able to open up some doors. One of them tried sneaking up on me. You see that? I'll tell you what, feller. I don't take too kindly to... I don't take too kindly to pranks now. Oh, just ran out. That's okay. Oh. Wait, is that? It can't be. Oh, okay. From a certain angle and certain lighting, he had a certain look about him. A certain look about him. Well, I guess that's pretty much something you can say about every zombie now that I think about it. I'll tell you what, before I start getting too silly, let's just go ahead and open this door, go through here, and look at this. Oh man,
I'll drop him at 50 yards.
back in the day, what a moment. What a moment. And still, I still think it's just an incredible moment. Very well done. Now that is just what I was looking for. Well, there you go. Look at that. And look at that. We got the 400 points. That's something else you might not have even noticed was what knocked Darren Toten. The nuke didn't give you 400 points. Once the nuke went off, that was all you had to work with. Probably wondering, what the heck am I doing over here? Flushing a toilet. I'll tell you what, that's how we're going to get our first ever Call of Duty zombie song. A Lullaby of a Dead Man. Oh, here we go. There we go. This song is the vibe. Now, I suppose I really could have taken a much shorter path and a much cheaper path towards Juggernog, but I'll tell you what, sometimes there is some value in taking the road less traveled. Let's see how it works out for us. Can we survive one more round? Well, I guess we're about to find out. You almost got me there. Almost got me. Almost ain't quite enough, though.
You picked on the wrong Marine.
Uh oh. Woohoo! Ooh, look at that. Oh boy. We're getting all kinds of silly. All kinds of silly, aren't we?
You break that bastards ain't getting close.
Oh boy. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo.
You like that?
That is the thing about Zombie
Break that
Verrückt.
bastards ain't getting close.
This map, it ain't easy. It ain't easy. You gotta get good for this map. No matter what you do. You always did a good job at some point. Oh, up, 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 up. Ooh, super spooky, super spooky. Let's go ahead, grab that double points, give ourselves just a little bit more to work with there. And look at that. There we go. Alright, let's go ahead, just get a few extra points here, why not? Why not? Get ourselves just that little bit extra. Don't quite got enough to open up that area, but that's okay. That's just to finish the roundabout. Right now, we just gotta focus on surviving. I'll tell you what, I got a little surprise for us, actually. If I can survive this round, I'm gonna show you something really cool. Something real fancy. Oh boy, I tell you what, got one of those sprinters on me. I do not like them. They are a rambunctious lot. Let's just say. Oh boy. Woohoo! Oh boy! Oh boy!
You picked on the wrong Marine.
Woohoo! Oh, you thought you had me. I was just a little bit ahead of you, though. Just a little bit ahead.
Off his head like a melon. Get back in the dirt.
Oh, would you look at there? I got a 2 for 1. Oh boy. Why is that zombie? What's he doing? What's this knucklehead over here doing? Alrighty. Before they can start ganging up on us too bad here, let's go ahead. Let's go up here. Let's go ahead and get that MP40. I'll tell you what, this gun right here. I know I made fun of the Germans earlier, but this gun right here, at least in this game, pretty good stuff. Pretty good stuff. Oh boy. I'll tell you what, that water that's pouring down from the ceiling, it is not doing me any favors. Uh-oh. Oh. Oh boy. Well, hey, look at that. It kind of worked out as far as the timing. And listen to that. Little beta sample there of the next song that would appear in Shino Numa, the next DLC map. But I think we're gonna have to hold off on that for today. It's been about 35 minutes now. I've been having a lot of fun with y'all. But I think for now, we're gonna have to pause the carnage and continue another time. From all of us here at the Joy of Gaming, I really appreciate you joining us today. I hope you have a wonderful and safe rest of your day and week. Take care, friends.